Yeah, I'm going to get into the Q&A in just a sec, but I forgot to say when I was originally recording the Q&A that there is a Discord server now. I have made a Discord server. It's like the James Stent Discord server, so there'll be whatever stuff in there. Maybe I'll do like contests, and obviously I'll be on there, I'll be active on there, and you can talk to me and whatever. And yeah, let's get into the actual Q&A. Yo, James Stent here. It's my first time talking on this channel, so sorry if I don't sound like how you imagined I did, which I probably don't, because they never do. Yeah, I'm not an American. I'm from New Zealand, so this is my accent. This is what I sound like. And this video is just to celebrate 5K. And so I thought I'd do a little like Q&A, just to, I don't know, so you guys can get to know me a bit more and learn about my like guitar process and that sort of thing. So I've got like, I think it's like a little bit over 20 questions here from like Instagram and YouTube. And yeah, so we'll just get right into it. The first question is from Raw Being of Light, and he says, how often do you play guitar, and do you have a favorite style of playing? Raw Being of Light, by the way, great guy, go check out his page. He's ripped as hell, and also he's really good at guitar. And to his question, I play guitar like, it varies a lot. Sometimes I go like 2 weeks when I'm on vacation or whatever. I go 2 weeks without playing guitar at all. And some weeks when I have like an easy video that like isn't that complex, I maybe play for like 8 hours one day and I finish the video, and then I just don't play for the rest of the week. Or sometimes something's a really ambitious video and then I have to practice 10 hours a day for 7 days straight, you know. Just varies a lot. And do I have a favorite style of playing? Yeah, just like, you know, this. Kind of thing. So yeah, second question. Pablo Fretz asks, when and how did you start your guitar journey? Probably be around 4 years ago now. My mum wanted me to learn guitar, so she got me lessons and she got me a guitar and stuff, because she wanted me to sing and play guitar at the same time, like kind of like Ed Sheeran or, you know, whatever, all those artists. And I just didn't like it. I just found it really boring and it was too hard, and I wasn't really into it, so I just gave up. And then like a year later I came back to it, and it was a lot more fun because I was just like doing it because I wanted to do it, you know, and like there was no one telling me what to do. I just did it because I wanted to and I felt like it. And yeah, I just started practicing, I don't know, like maybe half an hour a day or something, just learning chords and learning basic songs and, you know, learning simple stuff.
It's not warm when she's away.
And then I saw the song Goat by Polyphia. It just came up in the recommended sidebar and I clicked on it just randomly. I'd never seen it before, but it had 26 million views, so I was like, ooh, that's cool, it's a song I haven't heard of. And I clicked on it and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I couldn't even like comprehend what I was listening to. It was so alien. And I was like, this sounds so cool. I could probably play this. I'm a guitarist, I could learn it. And so I looked up the tabs and I was like, what's a harmonic? What's a slide? What's a pull-off? What's a hammer-on? What's a tap, right? And that's all just in the main riff. It's not even the whole song. And so learning that song, I then forced myself to learn the entire song. And even though I wasn't ready for it, learning that whole song when I was still pretty much just a beginner, you know, still playing chords and stuff, learning that whole song taught me a lot about playing guitar. And yeah. Now, third question, Nick Oliveira asks, how do you play like that without a pick? Oh my god. With my fingers. Instead of using a pick, I use my fingers. Monaco Watch Company asks, when will you bring out your first album? That's a good question. I really don't know. But if I were to give you a number, probably like 8 or 9 months. I am working on an album. It's not like an actual, it's not like an album. It's just going to be all the singles that I will have released from now, and then, you know, the singles I've already released, and then 8 months down the line, the vocal ones, like the hyperpop kind of vocally ones, no instrumental on the album. And yeah, once I'm done with that, I'll remaster all the songs, link them together, and then release that. Kind of like how Buried Alive does it. You know, how Buried Alive just release singles, release singles, release singles, release singles, and then they just release the album, which is just all the singles that they've released over, like, they release one single a month, every month, and then they just release that as the album at the end of the year, which is like 12 songs long. Which I don't want to do forever, but for when you're first starting out, I think it's a pretty good method. Eventually, I want to just be able to, like, ghost for a year and then drop an album, you know, of like all new stuff, but I'm nowhere near that. Now, the pro.exe asks, what is your dream guitar? It would be something just like completely fucked up, just like the most ridiculous, like 27 fret, 8 string with a Sustainiac and a kill switch, you know, and a Floyd Rose and just the most ridiculous, insane guitar you can imagine. And it would have like a crazy design on it and just be like super over designed and ridiculous, and maybe even like the 8th string on the top could be fretless or like something crazy like that, right? And I think just because that would be cool, and it would be like my guitar, like no one else in the world has a guitar like that, or at least I don't think so. Charles Caswell comes pretty close, but my guitar would be even more insane than his, right? And yeah, because I just think that would be so cool to have like my own completely unique guitar that no one else has ever had or played. Jib asks, favorite genre outside of math rock? String gauge. Favorite genre outside of math rock? I don't listen to math rock. Do I even play math rock? I don't really play math rock either. Math rock's all like Chon, you know, they're in like weird time signatures and they have like interesting harmony and complex chords and interesting, you know, complex rhythms and all that. My songs have none of that. So they're more so like pop music, really. It's basically just pop music, but like with like technical guitar riffs. So I don't really know what you'd call that, so I wouldn't call it math rock though. And so yeah, so my favorite genre outside of math rock, which I don't listen to, is hyperpop and like Dariacore and dubstep and death metal and EDM and all that type of stuff that inspires my music. I used to listen to Polyphia. Obviously, I used to listen to Polyphia. I didn't invent all this techie stuff by myself. I used to listen to Polyphia, and they're definitely a big inspiration for me. At the start, I don't listen to them anymore, but because I just kind of like, I don't know, I listened to all their songs so many times, I just kind of got sick of them all. But yeah, they were definitely a big influence on me from the start. Perceivable asks, how'd you go about progressing so much in such a short time? Musician. And that's not even cap. Musician, when I first like started learning of my own free will, my mom actually got me a musician subscription, and then I found it really boring and I gave up. And then when I came back to it, I started doing musician of my own free will, and yeah, I mean, it's actually, I've tried Simply Guitar. Simply Guitar is terrible. Simply Guitar is a waste of time. Musician is actually a pretty good way to learn the basics, especially like for the cost. Like the cost of a guitar teacher is so much more than Musician, and it's genuinely a good way to learn the complete basics of guitar in terms of like nothing beyond the complete basics of just like, you know, simple riffs and simple solos and, you know, how to hold it properly and how to like get your feeling. You know, it's like your first 200 hours of playing guitar are like the absolute beginning, right? And yeah, Musician is actually good for that. I will sponsor me, Musician, if you want to. I would totally be down. Yeah. Next one from Christian Lobanov. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He asks, how long did it take you to find your style and how did you do it? I would not say that I have found my style yet, but I will say that I am working on it and that I'm getting there. And how I did that, or how I am doing that, is by fusing different genres that normally don't mix or cross, and then just doing it anyway. And I basically did that with like hyper pop vocal stuff like, what would you say, like Kamo or Breakins, I guess Breakins does have guitar, but not like chord melody guitar. And then fusing that with obviously Polyphia, like chord melody, technical, you know, or you could say like Ichika and that type of stuff. And then my guitar solos are very like Buried Alive inspired. And yeah, so that's how I've kind of finding my style. I've definitely got a long way to go, but you know, it's first like what? I've been composing my own music for like 2 years, so I've got a lot more to learn. Prod Henosis asks, what does your practice routine look like? I don't have one. I've never had a practice routine. I don't know if I ever will. Yeah, don't have one. Unknown asks, because I couldn't find the comment, but I wrote it down in this doc. So Unknown asks, any tips for production on guitar instrumental short vid / YouTube? Well, basically, the main thing you want to be doing is dubbing your videos. So mix the whole song, record it all, produce it all, master it all, do all the things, make it sound real good, and then export it, and then just go record the video and just mime the guitar part. Your guitar doesn't even have to be plugged in. Like a little secret for anyone that's actually watched this far into the video. When you see like my guitar, like I'm like, you know, playing guitar, I'm sitting here with my leg crossed like that in all my videos, and like the cable's plugged in, you can see the cables in the jack, and then it like goes off screen. You think it's plugged into an amp off screen? Wrong. It's literally just plugged into nothing. I actually just throw the cable into the corner of the room, and yeah, so it's not even plugged in. And then I just have the song playing on a Bluetooth speaker next to me, and I just mime it. So I don't even need to play it correctly. I can't even hear what I'm playing. I just like get the finger placement correct. And then just dub. And then I just take the video, export that, put it into the video editing software. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, but you can use whatever you want. You use CapCut, whatever, doesn't matter. And then you just smush them together and like get them to make sure it's synced up perfectly, because if they're like out of sync, it looks really bad. Yeah, and then sync them up, and then boom, instant high audio quality. So you don't have to spend like thousands of dollars on amazing mics, and also you don't have to spend like 5 hours trying to record over and 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 over to get the perfect take. Yeah. Another Unknown asks, can you no-hit Ishin the Sword Saint Inversion? If you don't know what that means, that's a boss from the video game Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which is a game by From Software, and I fucking love From Software. Their games are so good. Sekiro, I have the most hours in Sekiro out of any From Software game. I have like 400 hours in Sekiro, and yes, I can very easily no-hit the Inner Ishin boss. Another Unknown asks, what was your favorite part of Vi Academy 7? If you don't know what Vi Academy was, it's like this guitar masterclass that was hosted by the guitarist Steve Vai, and he also got like a bunch of other famous modern guitarists like Tim Henson and Scott LePage and Ichi Kanito, even though he couldn't make it to the event because of the family troubles, and then Yvette Young and Matthias Asado and Matteo Mancuso and just, you know, all those famous modern guys, and they're all at the event, and it was super awesome. I just got back a few days from it actually, as of the time of this recording. And my favorite part, to answer your question, was probably hanging out with Scott and Tim. And I showed Tim the Modern Guitar collab, and I showed Scott some of my riffs and stuff and my videos, and he was like, he wanted to see the project file because he wanted to like see he wanted to see my recording process and how I write my stuff, and yeah, he was just really cool guy. I definitely talked with Scott more than Tim, because Tim was like really busy the whole time, but Scott was like more chill, and because there were less people crowding around him, obviously. And yeah, I got to hang out with Scott quite a bit, and yeah, that was so fun. Yeah, actually, being more specific, my favorite part was hanging out with Scott. And yeah, also, while I was there, obviously I didn't record it because that's Ratchet. Ratchet is New Zealand slang, by the way. I didn't record it, but they actually played a whole song from album 5, a whole new song. It was like unmixed, so it didn't sound like it wasn't mastered, but it was a whole song from album 5. It was amazing, by the way. It was really good, super catchy. It sounded kind of like a cross between ABC and like Reverie, but with no vocals. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing if that song drops, but it probably won't because they scrapped like all of their songs. They scrapped so many songs for their album releases. KK the Beast asks, I noticed that you mostly play classical right-hand technique instead of using a pick. Is that just a preference, or have you always done it that way? I've always done it that way. I don't know how to use a pick at all. Yep. Damasio Ra, or Esteban, Yo Esteban, he's the host of the Modern Guitar Collab, epic guy. How many instruments do you have? What's your favorite show? I have 3 instruments. I have the TOD-10N, the THBB-10, and an electric bass. And I don't even know what model it is, but it's a Cort. And what's your favorite show? Adventure Time. Lou33 asks, what was your hardest song to learn and how long did it take? Definitely Goat by Polyphia when I was like first learning. That song was so difficult that it's not even really, it's literally just cause, like if I tried to learn Goat now and I had never learned it, then it would be really easy because Goat's not that hard. And I mean in terms of the main riff and stuff. But at the time, I was so bad at guitar that Goat was unfathomably difficult. And that's why I think learning it anyways taught me so much and allowed me to progress really quickly. Ash asks, how do you compose? Okay, so basically, it's the same method as Tim, but slightly different. Instead of using a piano, I just click the notes into a piano roll. So I don't use an actual keyboard, right? I just click the notes into a piano roll, just whatever melody and chords come to my head. And then I export that MIDI as a MIDI file. Then I open Guitar Pro, I import that MIDI into Guitar Pro, and that gives me all the basic notes and chords laid out on guitar for me already. And then I just have to fix it up and make it cool and like say there's like there's whatever note. Sorry, I don't know the names. I don't know the notes on the fretboard. But there's whatever note, and then instead of playing it as that note and just picking it, or like, plucking it, I play it as a tap, or I play it as a harmonic, or I play it as a tap harmonic, or I slide into it, or I slide out of it, or I play it as an octave, or I play it as a power chord, or I play it as a part of a chord, or I play it as a whatever, right? And you add a technique to it that fits with the vibe of the song, and you make it sound more interesting, and then you just do that for every single note in the whole arrangement, and make every single add a technique to every note, make it tasteful, and yeah, there you go. That's how I compose. And then a question that no one asked, this is the last question by the way, there's a question that no one asked, but I think it's important, is the wall real? And by that I mean this wall. And a lot of people seem to think it's a green screen. It is not. It's a wooden wall that is painted blue. Right? Listen. It's a wooden wall painted blue, and then my mum got some painter guy to come in and paint clouds over it as well. And yeah, it's not a green screen, it's a real wall. It's in my room. Actually, just for making it this far to the end of the video, just because you're cool, I'm gonna show you the room that where the magic happens. So here it is, right? There's the wall. And zoom out. Zoom, ring light. I'm watching a video essay on Attack on Titan. There's a cardboard cutout of me from when I used to do musical theater. There's my PlayStation. This is the room. And there's the wall. Isn't that something? And then I sit on this thing, and I put my camera on this chair, which is stacked on top of these chessboards. And there's the Bluetooth speaker that I use to play my songs that I mime to. And there's the ring light, and there's the fan, because it's really hot in New Zealand at the moment. And yeah, there you go. There's all my secrets, and I've just exposed myself, so. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Probably like only 3 or 4 of you are here listening to this, so thank you for watching the whole thing. And yeah, see you guys later.